friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Julie, and I have, I think, a very special haul to share with you today. Some amazing fabric recently came my way when I visited my local Savers, as well as some fun books. And these were items I picked up over 2 trips. So let's dig in. The first thing I found, this was actually my second trip, and I have to say, I have never found anything like this at my Savers. I live in Los Angeles, if that gives you any idea. We just don't find the best vintage or antique items here in my area. But, oh my gosh, I did a little happy dance when I saw this on the shelf, and I don't remember what I paid for it. I feel like it was, I don't know, $3.99, $4.99, something like that, because there was another thing stuck to the front. I don't know if it was a glasses case or it was something really weird, and it must have been stuck there, and when they priced it, they just left it stuck and then slapped the price tag on it, but I took it off. But I just thought this was so cool. I don't really see a date, so I definitely feel like it's vintage from the look and feel of the paper, also the cover on the outside, but it's called SE Ledger. I have no idea what that stands for. Inside it says account books, but it has these great pages that have the alphabet, so they have kind of like a little tab out here on the right. I love the color of them. I think these will be fun to craft with. And then, is this different? Oh, it's just loose. It almost makes it look like a pad of paper because it looks like the edges were glued. Maybe that would give us some idea of the age, but there are these separate ledger papers in here that have this really great red, white, and blue lined paper kind of look to them. I guess these would maybe be columnar pages, but I just thought this was super fun. I think what I will probably do is take the whole thing apart, use the pages for ephemera, tags, that kind of thing. And then maybe I'll look to making a little notebook out of this. I certainly do love the look of the spine, but that's probably what I'll end up doing, is taking it apart, adding a new spine. Maybe I can keep the spine and make a cute bookmark out of it, or a little bookmark with a tassel on it, but very fun find. Other thing I picked up, I'm always looking for cool and interesting papers to add to my journals, and this looks like we have 3 packs here of 4-column paper is what they're calling this, and I just love this. I'm kind of addicted to this type of paper. I love the coloring. I think I love to include those types of papers in my signatures. This one looks to be exactly the same, and then this one looks like it has a little bit more age to it. It says green, 5 columns. Let's see. Almost looks the same, maybe slightly different. Maybe slightly different in the coloration, but it definitely has a green background. So those were good finds. And then I found a few books. This one I think is very cool. It looks like it was an old library book. It's sort of covered in that plastic, has a little label here on it, paid $5.99. I usually have a 20% off coupon when I shop at Savers, so all the prices are less 20%. Oh, how cool is this? It says, this book has been retired from our library. Enjoy it and pass it on to a friend. Please do not return it to us. I love that. And doesn't say what library it came from. What if I accidentally return it? I have to say, on this visit, there were a bunch of very, very cool nature books, probably 20 or so of them, and I really looked at them carefully. When I make a decision on buying a book, if I love the cover, maybe it's going to be turned into a journal, but I definitely do look for illustrations, cool book pages, that kind of thing. And out of all the books, this was the only one that caught my eye. I guess somebody originally paid $12.95 for it at one point in time. CHS. Oh, it must have come from Claremont Unified School District, which is here in California. And it's marked Claremont High School Library. So maybe that sticker there is from the library, but oh my gosh, the illustrations in here are just lovely. Is that writing? Or is that part of the book? Oh my gosh. At first when I looked at this, I thought maybe somebody had written in it, but I think it's just part of the illustrations. It looks like there might be a little bit of pen there. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm not really sure. This book is called Bright Wings of Summer. It's by David G. Measures, in case you want to look for it on eBay or some other used book site. I'm trying to look for more information here. Let's see, what is the copyright of it? If I can find it. Oh, first published in the USA, 1976. But look at that. Look at these beautiful watercolor painty pages. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Edith Holden. If you're a lover of Edith Holden books and her illustrations, kind of watercolor look, this reminds me maybe a little bit, obviously newer version of that. But let's look at some more of the pages. It looks like there's some black and white. I just think those are lovely. Look how beautiful that is. I love the writing on there. Let's flip through a little bit this way. Might be a little bit easier. Look at that. Oh, those are lovely. And I do have plans to do a couple butterfly / nature journals coming up here in a few months. So I think this is going to be a fun find. In fact, well, I was looking at the cover. Hope you guys can see that. I'm not going to take it off right now. So the cover of this is just a solid green. Maybe I'll use the cover as part of the journal, but I could also take one of these illustrations or maybe some of these color illustrations and make a little book plate for the front of the book. I think that would be fun. So it looks like there's some color photography pages in here, but mostly I love the painty illustrations, whether they're the black and the white. Let's see if we can find some more color and more photography. Yeah, it looks like a lot of them are black and white, but oop, here's some color. And I have to say the color ones, the paper is a little bit thicker, so it almost has sort of a matte cardstock feel to it, but those are pretty. But maybe we could experiment a little, maybe with the black and white ones. We can try and come in and do a little watercolor painting on top of them. I think that, oh, look at those. Those are beautiful. It's so hard to tell. So the blue pen, yeah, it isn't something that somebody wrote in it. So I think it's just part of the illustration. Oh my gosh, look at that. Is that gorgeous or what? Yeah, this was definitely a fun find. Gorgeous, gorgeous pages. So definitely, oh, look at that too. It looks like there's more black and white versus color. Lovely. But that will be definitely fun to play with. The only other book I picked up is called Memories of a Lifetime, and it's vintage labels from a lady's dressing room. It says here bonus CD inside. I'm not sure if there is. Most of us don't have computers anymore that the CDs fit into, so I wasn't really concerned about that. Let's see if we can find copyright is 2006. It looks like, and I'm pretty sure all of these are, let me look really quick and then I'll let you know. Well, I'm not seeing it here, but I'm pretty certain that these are all copyright free. Oh, they are right here. It says copyright free. And so if I wanted to, I could actually scan and make color copies of the pages if I so choose. Probably what I'll do is just come in and do some fussy cutting and use the images on layouts, make tags, that kind of thing. Even the borders are really pretty on here. Look at those. Look how great those are. And I like this. It has little examples on how you can use the different vintage labels. You can make cards. You can use them to scan them and put them on fabric. Would be really cool. But look how neat these are. And oh, look, I love those. I love those bottles. And it looks like the backs are blank or they have corresponding numbers to them. And these aren't matte. They have a little bit of sheen to them, but I think they're just beautiful. And this book is chock. Oh, I do feel the CD. I feel the CD in here. But again, not my laptop, even my PC. I don't have the ability to put a CD in, so I think that's a little bit obsolete, but I bet I could scan and make copies of the pages, and they're just beautiful. Look at that. So I think there's lots and lots of crafting opportunity with this book. So cute. If you're hearing a little noise, one of our little foster kitties, we still have our little boy foster rescue kitten here. His sisters are doing a short-term foster with the family that will be adopting them. We had 2 or 3 weeks of wait time before they can be spayed and neutered. So if you hear a little noise, he's down by my feet over here playing with a little ball toy. So I apologize. Beautiful, beautiful. Will be a lot of fun to craft with. Okay, let's get into all the material. Every once in a while when I go to Savers, I will find, you know, a bit of material here and there. Just a second, let me grab my phone holder. Okay, there we go, because that will be much, will be much louder than the ball. But all the material I picked up here, except for one vintage sheet, was all found in one trip. So I don't know if it was for one person or what, but yeah, I scored. I was super, super happy. But I want to open this first. So this was just a grab bag. It was $1.99, and I thought the ribbon in here looked very, very cute. And surprisingly, I think that was a great price. Usually these type of grab bags are priced much higher. Ooh, looks like that might have been in its own. And let's see, I think it's all, yeah, it all looks like it's Christmas ribbon. Definitely kind of has an 80s look to it. Look at that, that's cute. In fact, that has little bunnies holding candy canes. And there's a lot of it. So it looks like we have 2 of that print. Whoops, we have a lot of tape on here. Here's another cute one, and it kind of has that silky look, but definitely reminds me of the 80s. This one has a little train, like a toy train, and a little teddy bear. Hopefully you can see that. Here's one with hearts and holly and berry leaves. Here's a really pretty one with poinsettia. This one has a little bit of gold, glittery gold trim to it. I like that. Poppy is having fun down there playing with his toys. I love the color of this one, blue. We have little candles, and what are those other shapes? Kind of little, I don't know, like little kind of windmill shapes. And then here is one in solid red with a tree and little hearts. I think those are really cute. Definitely going to be happy to have those in my stash. Oh, I have a couple things here. These got stuck in the same pile. These I actually picked up from a local antique store on my birthday. One of the things my daughter said, what do you want to do? My son was at school. My husband was at work. And so I said, oh, I would love to go check out. It's not a new antique store, but they had changed locations. And I think it had its grand opening the weekend before my birthday. So we ran over there, we had a great lunch, and we walked around the mall. These were the only two things that I picked up. This was just, I'm always on the hunt for this little tiny rickrack, the little tiny stuff. I tend to gravitate towards that a bit more. It was $1. There's a lot on this card here, so I think that was a great pickup. And then let's open these. So these are Denison Nature seals. Let's see, I only paid $6, $6.10. It's hard to see. I think just $6. Sorry, I'm looking at Poppy. He's distracting me. He's up on top of the little kitten pen enclosure we have here. So it says 30 nature seals, and these definitely have some really good age. I don't tend to find these in the wild very often. Yeah, probably close to 30. May have all the same ones in here, but I just think these are really beautiful. What direction do they go? This direction. I think those are lovely. So these will be fun to decorate the pages of a journal, a tag, little friend mail, that kind of thing. Oh, this one looks like it's a little bit more faded. So the green looks a little bit lighter on that one, which was the one in the front. And it looks like we have a little bit of double stamping here, but the rest of them, however many are in here, look pretty nice. What's wrong, baby? Come here. Come here. Okay. All right, there's our seals. All right, let's get to all the beautiful material. Again, if I can, I think the prices are on most of these, less than 20%. This little piece here, I paid $3.99. I'm not sure how much is here. I'm not an expert yet at looking at something and saying, oh, that's a yard, that's a half yard, possibly a yard. And it looks like this is a Cranston. So I know those are good pickups. I know those are popular. That's a popular manufacturer. I love the blue and the stripe, the little tiny flowers on here. That was a good find. This fabric is really beautiful. Looks like there's some tape on here. I don't know if we're gonna find, oh, this is a Cranston too. And I thought this was so pretty. Some of this fabric I've already used. The pile's been sitting here for a bit, and I had some fun projects I was working on. So there might be some cuts and things, and I dug into it a little bit. I paid $3.99 for that one as well. Love the little petite print. This was a fun find. I don't find Halloween fabric very often, so when I do, I definitely grab it up. And this stuff at my Savers, they tend to have the fabric hanging, so they will hang it on those pant hangers, you know, the ones with the two little clips. So a lot of times they'll put multiple pieces of fabric together, and these were all clipped together on a single hanger. And it looks like, I don't know, because they're folded, you can still see that there's a selvage edge, but somebody's definitely come in here and sewn some of the edges. So I don't know if this was a tablecloth or a pillow, perhaps a tablecloth. Doesn't look like it's a pillowcase, but I just thought that was super cute. I love the print on that. And then let's see, there were two pieces of this. I guess these we can unfold. So maybe a little, a runner. Okay, it's like in the shape of a runner. And I'll probably be cutting these up into smaller pieces, making all kinds of things with them. But yeah, so it looks like we have two runners. I guess maybe I could keep one and use it in my Halloween decor, actually. But I love the little witches and the ghosts, and I love the font on here. It has like kind of a pinky purple, which I think is pretty fun. I don't know, what do you guys think? 80s, kind of an 80s print here, but I thought those were a fun find. Found a little bit of Christmas fabric. Again, seems like $3.99. That was kind of the price of the day. I don't know if we can find the manufacturer on it, but probably a yard. I think there's quite a bit here, so I think that was well priced. This one I love. I love these sort of faux quilt patterns. I think that they're a lot of fun. This, I think, I'm gonna guess this is probably a couple yards at least. There looks like there's quite a bit here. I'm not going to take a lot of time. If I can see the maker, I'll let you know. But that was fun. And then this one, I've definitely already cut into this. In fact, the project tutorial that I'm sharing this week, I used a little bit of that fabric. Did I use? You see, I may have even used this on the spine on the journal that I'll be sharing this Thursday. So yeah, I already cut into this one. I just think it's adorable. And yeah, I'm not readily finding a manufacturer, but again, I think that's a pretty good price at $4.99. I know it's much harder to find material, especially here in my area now that Joann's is closed and we really don't have independent fabric stores anymore in my area. Now, these were very exciting. I usually do try to go down the sheet aisle, but it is very rare. Maybe once I've ever found vintage sheets or sheet material at my thrift store, or I should say at my Savers. But this, look at this, you guys. Look at this, you guys. $5.99. Now, this is the flat sheet. I don't know if it's a queen. I don't know if it's a twin. And I stood there for a while. They had the fitted as in addition to the flat. I have space constraints here in my home. My craft space is here in our living/dining room area, and I do not have a lot of places to tuck things or storage at my disposal. So when I'm out thrifting and picking things up, I really have to contemplate, well, where am I going to put it? Do I have space to store it? So I stood there for a long time. I'm like, do I want the fitted and the flat? And I just decided, no, I'll take the flat. And in fact, I think the flat may have even been priced lower than the fitted, or it wasn't much different. And I thought, well, there's less work to cut this down into pieces, to sell, to share, to use. And I'll just take this one and leave the other one. Somebody else will be super happy to find it. And in fact, when I was at the checkout, the woman that was checking out next to me, she had the fitted sheet, which I'm sure she loved finding. So yeah, I decided just to go with the one and not both. I'm sure you guys are thinking, no, I would have bought the fitted too. Hi, honey. Little guy down here. I know. Do you want to come up and say hello? We'll let Poppy come and say hello. I don't know if you guys can see him. What are you doing, love? I know. What are you doing? Are you getting lonely? Let's see, today is Wednesday, so his sisters were picked up Saturday. So what is that? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So he's been by himself for about 5 days. Well, not by himself. He's with us. And we have two older cats in our home, although I will say our 8-year-old has absolutely no interest in him. And our youngest, who maybe 10 months old at this point, he's been kind of playing with him, but he's a little bit rough. He keeps bopping him on the head. But yeah, we've been giving him lots of love-ins, and I have to say he's just blossomed. He has turned into a little cuddle bug this past week, which was really, really, really good to see, because he was definitely mama's boy. Okay, you gonna go down? Are you gonna go down? Are you gonna be good? Yeah, you gonna go down? Let's see if he'll go find something to play with. So yeah, should I have gotten the fitted sheet? And then this was the other one, and there was just the flat. There wasn't any decision to make with this one. This one was marked $4.99, and again, just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful print. So this will be tons of fun to craft with. I love the colors of both of them. In fact, I don't know, maybe in an eclectic journal, they would look really pretty together. So those are very, very exciting to find. And then this last one, it just ended up in the pile, kind of like the rickrack and the seals did. But this material, or actually it's a sheet, I had picked up from a seller on Whatnot. I do not remember the seller's name. If I can find it, I'll put it down in the link, but I just happened to catch the tail end of their sale, and they had some, not buy it now, but you know, they had things where you can click and look in their shop and see things that they had available, and it was almost the end of their sale, and they were kind of perusing and going through things that they either hadn't shown or hadn't sold, and they shared this sheet. So it's 66 by 100. I have no idea what size it is, and it looks here, it almost looks like there's $3 or $4, and my name, Nature Vintage Company. So I'm not sure if I paid $3 or $4, and it also said there's a yellow streak, which is right here, which I don't mind at all. I will be cutting this and crafting with this, so I don't mind that there's that yellow streak. My guess, it's probably a queen, not a king size. I don't know what those dimensions are, but I thought that was a great pickup. So yeah, lots of great sheets came my way within the same week, and all this beautiful fabric. So this is going to be put to use, and that's the end of my haul. Let me know, did you have a favorite? Would you have picked up that fitted sheet too? Maybe I made a big mistake, because how often do these things come our way? Definitely not my way very often, but she was probably just as happy as me, so I will call that a win. I'll call that good. And that's it, my friends. Yeah, definitely leave me a comment if you like this type of content. Please do consider subscribing. If you love live craft tutorials, paper crafting, junk journal type tutorials, come join us some Thursday. We meet up live every Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific, and that is 1 p.m. Eastern. So I hope you'll come join us, come say hello, hang out, and be creative. All right, friends, I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.